should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. Is not to come third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. Right?
Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the running of the RacinFreeks Dre Motorsports All-Star, All-Star event. As we're going to see some great racing here tonight. Got a pretty decent-sized field, 19 cars on the track. We do have David Everly in the booth with us at this moment. David, would you like to kind of explain how the All-Star event will go?
I sure can, Steven. Thanks for having me. Basically, what we're going to be doing tonight, we are going to run the first 20 laps. The admins will throw a caution. Under that caution, drivers can only come down and take fuel, no tires. We will go back green flag racing after that caution. We will run another 20-lap stint, which another mandatory caution will come out by the admins. Upon that caution, drivers then can come down and take a full tank of fuel and 4 tires. From there on, it will be normal race conditions. It'll be a shootout to the checkered flag. So we think this format should definitely make for some interesting racing, and we hope everybody enjoys it.
All right, and thank you for coming in the booth and kind of explaining that. And just to clarify, our admins tonight are David Everly and Robert Moyer, correct?
Yes, myself, David Everly, and Robert Moyer Jr. will be the eyes in the sky, watching these guys, watching the pit stops to make sure everybody's following the proper format.
All right. Well, these guys are 2 minutes into qualifying already, and Chris, is that Gutierrez? I believe that's a new driver to RacinFreeks. While we're waiting for these guys to finish up with their open qualifying, let's go ahead and go through the standings right now. This is a non-points race, but is counted as a race for guys trying to make the chase. First place right now in points is Zachary Hall with 714. Second place, you have Robert Moyer Jr. with 659. Third place is Brandon Mullen. Fourth place, James Hackworth Jr. Fifth place is Nick Crawford. Sixth is Cedric Hunter. Seventh is Brian Woods. Eighth is Tyler Conroy. Ninth, David Everly. And 10th is Jeff Gilmore. We will have Paul Zutta in the booth with us later on tonight. He's running a little bit late, so hopefully we don't have too many track interruptions tonight. I just had a little bit of a blink out there for a moment. Let's see if we can change a setting really quick so we don't have that issue later on. Hopefully, if we drop frames, we'll change it back to how it was. But for now, we got 1:31 left in qualifying. And Chris Gutierrez still holds the pole with Tyler Conroy second and Bob Skinner in third. Oh, we're blinking again. Should be a great race tonight. We shouldn't see too many cautions other than the mandatory cautions in this all-star race. These guys, even at Iowa, they put on a great show. Only had a few cautions that race. A lot of green flag racing. So these guys pride themselves on their long green flag runs, and I wouldn't expect to see anything different tonight. We got a few cars still on the track trying to get last of their times in. Got James Hackworth Jr. on the track right now, along with Cedric Hunter, Shane Adkins, Christopher Matthews, Zachary Hall, and Tyler Conroy. Guys are all trying to get their last laps in before that time runs up. And that'll do it for qualifying, and they do get some time to finish up their last laps here. And now we should start seeing the flipped grid here in one moment, and I think we're going to get it right now. Nope. Alright, now we're going to grid. Let's go ahead and take a look at our grid tonight. Brought to you by iBog. Make sure to check him out at ibog.co for all your overlay needs. Chris Gutierrez will start on the pole tonight with a 28.479. Brennan Mullen will start second. Tyler Conroy comes in third tonight for the start. Bob Skinner will start in fourth. Zachary Hall, the points leader, sitting in fifth to start the race. Christopher Matthews will start sixth. Ivan Jones starts seventh tonight. John Jones will start eighth. Shane Adkins ninth. Cedric Hunter starts in 10th. Ryan Woods will start in 11th. Jeff Glockner in 12th. Corey Harridge will start in 13th. John LeBombard will start in 14th. James Hackworth Jr. will start in 15th. Jeff Gilmore, the first car not to take a time, will start in 16th. Robert Moyer and David Everly are admins. And Derek Pemberton will start in 20th, and that'll round out the field tonight. So we do have 3 cars that won't be on the track, myself, David Everly, and Robert Moyer. But other than that, we're going to have a great race out here tonight, as Chris Gutierrez will take these guys around the track to start. And once again, thank you everybody for stopping by and checking out the race right now as we are getting ready to go around for the pace lap. Thank you everybody for stopping by and checking out the stream on either Twitch, YouTube, or Beam. We're live on 3 platforms tonight. First time trying this out, so thank you everybody for stopping by and checking out the race. Should be a great race, and should be an interesting race with the All-Star rules tonight. And a huge shout out to Rudy Cummings with MaxSpeed TV for allowing us to use the camera packs tonight. It's a great camera pack that he loaned us to use for Charlotte. He helps us a lot with getting stuff set up for iRacing and the podcast. All right, and Chris Gutierrez will bring these guys to the line. And green flag is out. We're racing here at RacinFreeks All-Star at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Chris already has a great jump to start the race with, that is, get this organized, Brandon Mullen starting second. We'll start to see early guys separate. Some guys will start to lay off at the beginning of this race, try to save their tires, but if I remember correctly, David Everly said 20 laps and we'd have a pit stop, so these guys might push 20 laps. As the 2 of Tyler Conroy is going to make a pass on the bottom and get around Brandon Mullen. And now get on the outside of Chris. And the 82 of Bob Skinner is going to try to make a pass now. And it looked like Brandon Mullen just got stuck on the high side and ends up dropping back to 5th. So now your top 3 is Chris Gutierrez, Tyler Conroy, Bob Skinner, and then we have Christopher Matthews and Brandon Mullen to round out your top 5. Bob Skinner trying to make that pass on the outside, trying to pin Tyler Conroy to the bottom. It does look like he made the pass. Bob Skinner now in second. And he's going to start to push Chris Gutierrez, and Bob Skinner at this moment is scored as our leader. And he is way out in front of Chris, who's now dropped back to 3rd and in danger of losing it to 4th now. And Tyler Conroy is going to make it around him, possibly get the runoff on the corner, does. And Chris is getting passed up by a ton of cars now as we got a new leader. Bob Skinner leads his first lap of the race tonight. Let's go back and check out what's happening to Chris as he started to fall back on that last lap, and he's been falling back even more, back to 6th at the moment. And the 46 is Shane Adkins now working on him. Shane's teammate Bob Skinner up front. And it looks like Shane is just going to hook up with Chris and try to push him, try to get him back up to speed. As now the 32 of Zachary Hall looking to the outside, trying to make a pass. And Shane's now going to make the pass on Chris. Doesn't get his shot there. Let's go to the front with Bob Skinner. Got great battling all around the track. Top 3 battling it out. And then you got about 4 or 5 cars behind them battling it out. Bob Skinner, though, has now led 4 laps tonight. We're going to go back and watch his battle again with Chris. And there's a pack of 4 back here. Ivan Jones back here and the Blown Gasket Racing Machine trying to get around Chris now. And I don't know if Chris just pushed too hard at the beginning of this race and burned his tires up quick, because he's falling back from 1st to 8th and is looking at possibly dropping out of the top 10 if he doesn't get it together soon. As Ivan Jones passes Chris to get into 7th now. Let's go and watch a second place battle between Tyler Conroy and Christopher Matthews. They've been pretty consistent, and it doesn't look like they're losing too much time to Bob Skinner. And you know, we've talked about it time and time again with Bob Skinner being pretty consistent when he started here at RacinFreeks, And to see him out front, it's great. He's been running second a lot and running in the top 5 a lot, but he may get his shot tonight. And we did have 2 cars not grid. The 57 of Jeff Gilmore and the 81 of Derek Pemberton did not grid. So we had 15 cars on the track. Still a pretty nice field. And we've got a lot of close racing going on here. The 7 of Jeff Glockner's in a pretty good battle right now with the 88 of Brian Woods. Brian Woods in that Michigan car, and Jeff Glockner in the iRacing World car. A lot of separation so far here. Ivan Jones has been having a great race so far. And he's trying to make... Chris Gutierrez did make up the position, get into 7th, and Ivan's trying to work on him again and get it back around. He wants that 7th position. And Bob Skinner has lost some time. And he's actually in danger of losing the lead to Tyler Conroy now. Tyler's going to go to his inside. And I don't know if inside is the place to win a battle here, as we've seen a lot of passes on that outside line. Tyler does pass him for the moment, and we'll beat him to the line. So Tyler will be scored as our leader on lap 16. We've had 3 lead changes already tonight. Great racing and 16 laps by these guys. As now the 34 of Chris Matthews is trying to make the pass on Bob Skinner. This front 3 is tight racing. As Chris Matthews will go to the inside and does edge out Bob Skinner, so Bob Skinner will move back into 3rd. And now let's see if Chris Matthews can get a run on Tyler Conroy, as they gave up about 0.2 seconds, battling out for 2nd, and actually Cedric Hunter has caught up pretty quickly. We got a battle back in 5th with Shane Atkins. And I believe that's Brandon Mullen in the Jack Daniels car. And you saw Shane kind of get pushed down the hill there. Let's see if he can try to make up a position before they have their first break. And remember, their first caution, they do not get tires. They can get fuel, and that is it. They can do repairs, they just can't get any tires. So session number 2 will definitely be interesting here, as some of these guys will have a lot of tire wear, and caution is out. So as we go to the end of the first session, Tyler Conroy is your leader. And before they take to the pits, let's take a look to see how our first session rounded out. Tyler Conroy started 3rd, led 5 laps, currently sits 1st. Christopher Matthews started 6th, moved up to 2nd. Bob Skinner started 4th, led 11 laps, and currently sits 3rd. Cedric Hunter started 10th and is sitting in 4th. Brennan Mullen started second and is currently sitting in fifth. Shane Adkins went from 9th to 6th. Chris Gutierrez started first, led 3 laps, and is currently sitting back in 7th. Zachary Hall started 5th and is now sitting in 8th. Ivan Jones started in 7th and is now sitting 9th. Ryan Woods started 11th and now sits 10th. Corey Harridge started 13th and now sits 11th. John Jones started 8th and now sits 12th. Jeff Glockner started 12th and now sits 13th. John LaBombard started 14th and still sits in 14th. And James Hackworth Jr. started 15th and sits in 15th. We'll go back up with Tyler Conroy as he's going to lead these guys to the pits. So with that, let's take a quick commercial break and be back as these guys go back to racing.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. It's not to come third, fourth, fifth, or sixth.
I'm not sure what happened to Jeff Glockner. Didn't see, but he didn't pit, and I think they forced him to come down pit road for his pit stop. So with that, we do still have Tyler Conroy up out front. Brandon Mullen sitting second, and Chris Matthews now sitting in third. So after our pit stops, how we round out is Tyler Conroy in first, Brandon Mullen second, Christopher Matthews in third, Cedric Hunter fourth, Bob Skinner fifth, Shane Adkins sixth, Chris Gutierrez starts seventh. Zachary Hall will be in eighth, Ivan Jones ninth, Brian Woods will start 10th, Corey Harridge will start 11th, James Hackworth Jr. in 12th, John LaBombard will start 13th, John Jones in 14th, and Jeff Glockner 15th. So we had a little bit of a shuffle that stop, but we'll see if these guys can work their way back to the front, as we should be getting the one to go this time round. And there's that Oreos car of the number 2 of Tyler Conroy. Pace car lights are out, so we're on the one to go. These guys are doubling up and ready to go racing, as they'll have another, I believe, 20 lap session, and then they'll be able to get tires, and then they have the rest of the 65 laps to, or excuse me, they have is that 75 laps, and then they will they're not having another session, so I mean, they get their tires and fuel, and they go as long as they can, and have to take their pit stops when they want or under caution. So this session might be interesting. I think we'll see a couple more. I think we'll see a caution or two in this session, because these guys are on old tires, and some of these guys are going to try to push it right off the start. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. Pace car will dip in. Tyler Conroy will bring them to the line. Green flag is out. Tyler Conroy on the loud pedal. Not letting Brennan Mullen steal a lap from him. Let's see if he can work his way around Tyler Conroy. As we saw that top line work pretty well early in the run, but these guys are on older tires. I don't know how long that top line will work for these guys. And we got a caution. I don't think we're going to actually catch that replay because we blinked out. The whole field blinked out right there. And let's see if we can at least see what happened. Change the view really quick. We'll go rear chase, kind of see what happened to Tyler Conroy, who was our leader when that accident happened, and it did look like the 36 of Brennan Mullen got into his rear quarter panel. Tough break for the two. Oh man, bad damage to him. So unfortunately, he does have a quick repair, so he'll have to use his quick repair sometime. They do allow him to fix damage while in the pits. And right now, Christopher Matthews is our leader. Doesn't look like he had too much damage there. The 36 of Brennan Mullen is only sitting back in 6th. Let's see how much damage Brandon's car is destroyed as well. So these guys will have to use their one quick repair early in the second session. Let's go back out front now with Christopher Matthews, who is our race leader for the moment. I don't think they're going to allow these guys to come to pit road for fuel or for tires, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody comes down and gets a little bit of damage repaired, as we had a pretty short run there. So let's go ahead and take a quick break and come back as we go green once again here at the Dre Motorsports All-Star Xfinity Series race at Charlotte.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
And we've got our first caution of the night. We talked about it before that session started. We wouldn't be surprised at all to see a caution, and it came pretty early. First lap of the second session, pace lights are out, or pace car lights are out, caution lights are out, and they will double up to get ready to go again. And it'd be I don't know how they're gonna do this with don't know how they're going to exactly do this for the second session, if they're going to go 20 laps from here, because they only got 1 lap in that last restart. So this time, Christopher Matthews will bring them to the start-finish line in first. And Cedric Hunter is now on his outside, as this is our 4th leader for the race. Our so far drivers to lead a lap: Christopher Matthews has 4, will lead 5 when he comes to the line. Chris Gutierrez 3, Bob Skinner 11, and Tyler Conroy with 10. Pace car will dip in, and Christopher Matthews will bring him to the line. Green flag is out, and we're back to racing at the Drake Motorsports All-Star event. And pretty interesting that we see Cedric Hunter falling back, and now Shane Adkins has pushed himself towards the front. And we've got 2 teammates in the top 5 with Shane Adkins and Bob Skinner of DBS Racing. And Cedric now on the bottom. Doesn't quite lead the lap, but he's got the lead at the moment. And Christopher Matthews in danger of losing second now to Shane Adkins. And it looked, I believe that's the 32 of Zachary Hall, got into the wall there, be able to get out of the way. We're still green. Shane Adkins now working on Cedric Hunter, who has the lead. Shane's going to get under him. And does he pass him before the line? He doesn't. And I imagine we'll see a new leader by the end of this lap. Shane Adkins is pushing the 13 of Cedric Hunter. And now he'll file right behind him, as they are single file in the front, but in third with Christopher Matthews. Still got a battle going back on here with the 22 of Chris Gutierrez, who started on the pole tonight. Bob Skinner and the 88 of Brian Woods right behind him. And Chris will get to the inside and hold on to that third position, taking it away from Chris Matthews. No idea why we keep blinking here tonight. That is not the answer. We're trying to fix this kind of on the fly here right now. All right. And now we got a battle for third. Shane Adkins dropped back to third and is in danger of losing it to the 35th of Christopher Matthews. And Shane's got his teammate Bob Skinner back there holding off the 88 of Brian Woods and the 89 of Corey Harridge. And let's go take a look at Cedric Hunter as the 22 is getting loose. We're about to switch, and we got another caution. No other cars involved. Great job by everybody to avoid the wreck. Take a look at 22 of Chris Gutierrez, who was our pole sitter tonight. Great driving by him to not take any damage and not wreck anybody else. Let's take a look to see what happened to Chris, as we have our second true caution of the night. And he did hit the wall and snap loose. But once again, great driving by everybody to get around him without causing a wreck. Other than the little bit of fender damage he got from tapping the wall, doesn't look like Chris has got too much damage. So, with that, let's take a look at our leader, who is Cedric Hunter. And once again, we'll see what these guys do, as I don't believe they're allowed to pit just yet. I think they have to get to lap 40 before they can pit. Maybe they're going to... It does look like they're going to bring them down, or Cedric Hunter is going to trick them out. It looked like they might be coming down pit road, but the admins might be holding them off. So with that, let's take another commercial break as we wait to go green.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Let's take a run through our how we stand at this moment. Cedric Hunter started 10th, has now led 8 laps, currently sits in first. Shane Atkins started 9th, now sits in second. Christopher Matthews started 6th, led 6 laps, and currently sits in third. Bob Skinner started 4th, led 11 laps, and now sits 4th. Ryan Woods started 11th and is now sitting in 5th. Corey Harridge started 13th and now sits 6th. Zachary Hall started 5th, now sits in 7th. John Jones started 8th and sits in 8th. Ivan Jones started in 7th, now sits in 9th. James Hackworth Jr. has moved up from 15th to 10th. Jeff Glockner started 12th, now sits 11th. Tyler Conroy started 3rd, led 10 laps, was involved in an accident earlier, now sits in 12th. Brandon Mullen started 2nd here tonight, now sits in 14th. Chris Gutierrez started 1st, led 3 laps, now sits 13th. And John LaBombard started 14th and now sits in 15th. So let's go back up to Cedric Hunter, who leads this race as we get the 1 to go. Caution lights are out. And we'll see if these guys can get the run they want, so we can get into that last session, as they still do not have new tires. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see another caution before the session is over. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong thing. Alright, we're on lap 40 of 115, and Cedric Hunter will now bring him to the line as the pace car will dip in. And green flag is out, and we're back to racing at the Dre Motorsports All-Star event. And pretty quickly, Shane Atkins to the lead, actually steals the lead from Cedric Hunter, steals a lap, so Shane Atkins will get his first lap led with his teammate Bob Skinner right behind him. And it does look like Bob's going to fall right behind the 34 of Christopher Matthews, as now Shane gives the lead back up to Cedric Hunter. And I don't think that top line is exactly working for these guys, as the race goes on, and Shane Atkins now going to try to get to the inside of Christopher Matthews. Doesn't quite get it, and now he's risking having the 34 get underneath him, and Christopher Matthews doesn't quite get around him, and Bob Skinner's going to move back into 5th as Corey Harridge will make the pass. And Bob Skinner getting ready to lose a couple positions as the 32 of Zachary Hall is going to get around him. And now the 53 of Ivan Jones is trying to make the pass as well. And now he's got the 88 of Brian Woods trying to make the pass on the inside. And Brian will get around to Ivan. And Brian Woods trying to get a little bit risky, trying to pass up Ivan, ends up losing a couple positions. And please excuse that once again. What's going on, NASCAR man? Thank you for stopping by and checking out the stream tonight, as we got some pretty good racing there. Let's go back up front with Shane Atkins, who is battling Cedric Hunter, and the caution is out. Don't see a car that wrecked. So I believe this is the end of session number 2. And with the end of session number 2, let's go ahead and take a run through the field. Cedric Hunter will be your leader at the end of session number 2. Has now led 14 laps. Shane Atkins stole 1 lap on that last restart and is now sitting 2nd. Christopher Matthews 3rd. Zachary Hall 4th. Bob Skinner in 5th. Ivan Jones 6th. Chris Gutierrez in 7th. Corey Harridge 8th. Brian Woods in 9th. James Hackworth Jr. in 10th. John Jones 11th. Jeff Glockner 12th. Brendan Mullen 13th. Tyler Conroy in 14th, and John LeBombard in 15th. So these guys will get to come down pit road and get fresh tires for the first time in a long time, as the 13 Cedric Hunter bringing them down pit lane. Let's go ahead and take a break as they get their pit stops, and we will go back green for the start of the last session tonight.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. And by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver, because we are competing.
Alright, not much change after those pit stops, and we'll start to see some hard-nosed racing again. And we'll actually see some guys laying off at this restart because they got to save their tires and push it to the end now. as I believe right now they're on 2 to go. Next time around, they will be on the 1 to go, and they'll start to completely double up, as some of them are already eager to get back to racing. And Shane Atkins has got to like the fact that he's on the outside on the restart, because we do know with those fresher tires, the outside line does work pretty well. And we see our points leader, Zachary Hall, sitting in 3rd place right now. Great spot for him to be in, after I believe he started near the back of the pack. And we do have one car that is a lap down. The 95 of John LeBombard is currently sitting 3 laps down. Not sure what happened to him, or if he had to serve a black flag for taking tires during one of the previous session cautions. And we should see some great green flag racing out by these guys now, as the sessions are out the window. We're in our 3rd session now. Tyler Conroy was the winner of the 1st session. Cedric Hunter the winner of the 2nd session. But all that matters is the winner of that last session. Pace car will dip in. Cedric Hunter will bring him to the line. Green flag is out, and Session 3 of the Dre Motorsports All-Star event has started. Shane Atkins won't steal this one from Cedric Hunter, as we'll start to see how that outside line is working for Shane, and his teammate Bob Skinner right behind him. And we do see Cedric Hunter pop right out in front of Shane and try to kill that run off the corner. And Cedric Hunter might actually prefer that line on the top over the bottom, but he does cut back to the bottom line going into the corner, and it does look like Cedric is starting to play a little bit of line defense, moving up and down, trying to defend Shane Atkins and the 32 of Zachary Hall. And with this much racing left, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bumping by these guys out front, as Cedric Hunter, Shane Atkins, Zachary Hall, and Bob Skinner all in the mix right now. And the 22 of Chris Gutierrez, who was the pole sitter tonight, still in the mix. Cedric Hunter is doing a great job holding these guys off, and he's cutting off the 32 of Zachary Hall. Gutsy move by Cedric as he's trying to block the points leader from getting ahead of him, trying to steal a win here tonight. And we might have a pass on Bob Skinner here soon. Chris Gutierrez is trying to make his way into 2nd, and Brandon Mullen tried to get around Bob to work into 4th, but we're currently sitting 5th. And Cedric Hunter's still our leader here, but he's got a ton of cars behind him trying to make a pass. And Zachary Hall trying to everything he can to get around him. But he's got to watch out for that 22 of Chris Gutierrez, who we did see run the fastest lap in qualifying and take the pole. As now Zachary Hall goes to the inside. Does he have enough to stick it? And I think he's got the inside on Cedric Hunter. And we have a new leader. Zachary Hall does take over the lead for the moment, but wow. I'm pretty sure Cedric Hunter pushed Zachary Hall down the track. And Zachary Hall did lose some speed coming off that corner and had to go to the apron. So we will see Chris Gutierrez in second, Bob Skinner third, Brandon Mullen fourth, and Tyler Conroy in fifth. As let's see if Chris can now make a move on the leader, Cedric Hunter. As Chris Gutierrez is catching Cedric, but he does have the 36 of Brandon Mullen and the 2 of Tyler Conroy not far back. And we saw Tyler lead some laps and actually was the leader at the end of the first session. We're starting to see some great green flag racing. These guys, definitely those tires are helping them out. And Chris Gutierrez is a newcomer, I believe, to the league. So if he could get a solid finish here tonight, would definitely show these guys he has what it takes to compete in this league. As the 13 Cedric Hunter is trying to get a win for Dre Motorsports at the Dre Motorsport All-Star event. As now Tyler Conroy moves into second. We got a whole bunch of cars behind Tyler. As the 36 of Brandon Mullen, 46 of Shane Adkins, Christopher Matthews, Bob Skinner, John Jones, Ivan Jones, Corey Harridge, all battling for within the top 10. And we just had the 2 of Tyler Conroy blink out for a second. Does come back. So he is still sitting in second. Or sitting in third, sorry about that. But Brandon Mullen is catching him pretty quickly, as Chris is still pushing Cedric Hunter, who now has 31 laps led and has the most laps led of the night. Can't count out that 2 of Tyler Conroy, as he's starting to battle back and gain some time on these guys. And we did see Tyler lead 10 laps earlier in the race, so I mean he does have what it takes to get in front and lead some laps. As Tyler's also sitting in 8th, so he's definitely going to want to get some experience in here heading into the chase. And we got a huge battle back in 4th, but we're not going to go to that yet because we might have a lead change. Chris Gutierrez takes it from Cedric Hunter for the moment, and Cedric takes it right back, as Chris didn't have the runoff that Cedric had. But let's see if Chris can hold or get to the front of Cedric Hunter. And they got to worry about Tyler Conroy, who's trying to make that pass on the outside. As Chris might lose second here now, as Tyler's going to go to the inside of Chris Gutierrez. And we got the 50 to go now. And Tyler had to back off there, but he's still door to door with Chris Gutierrez. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that battle for fourth. As Christopher Matthews is in front of Shane Atkins, Brennan Mullen, and then you got a three-way battle for seventh between John Jones, Ivan Jones, and Bob Skinner. But let's go ahead and is the track going to come back? We just lost the track. There's the track. Okay. We got Cedric Hunter up front. And Cedric was able to hold off the charge of the 22 of Chris Gutierrez and the 2 of Tyler Conroy. But how long and how much did he burn up his tires there? As they don't have scheduled pit stops from here on out. They have to schedule their own pit stops. As Cedric Hunter, who currently sits in 6th in points, is showing that he has what it takes to get his first win since July 30th. And this will actually be Cedric's 5th win if he can get a win here tonight. Pretty impressive showcase by Cedric Hunter. But does he have what it takes to last 46 more laps and fend off the newcomer Chris Gutierrez and Tyler Conroy? Let's take a look back at Shane Atkins in the 46. Battling with Christopher Matthews. And his teammate Bob Skinner right behind him. As guys are starting to spread out now. We'll start to see that as this run goes on. Tires wearing down. And guys, I imagine we'll see one more pit stop. I don't know if they have enough fuel to make it to the end here, but they will have to plan that on their own. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see another caution or two before the end of this race, so they may be pushing it to that first caution. We'll go back up front with Cedric Hunter, who is putting the distance on the 22 of Chris Gutierrez, and Chris has actually put a pretty good distance on Tyler Conroy now. So we'll see how long these two can hold off. And I'm not sure if Brennan Mullen brought it to pit road, but he has now scored one lap down. And Cedric Hunter now out to 1 second lead. But that battle for second is starting to heat up as Tyler Conroy is starting to catch him. And so is the 34 of Christopher Matthews. And Shane Atkins has picked up some time as well. We'll start to see here if the 2 of Tyler Conroy can fend off the charge of the 34. As some of these guys that were saving their tires are now going to start to make a run. As we're even seeing the 22 drop off a little bit. But we're also seeing Cedric Hunter drop off as his lead is now cut down to a second. And Christopher Matthews does make the pass on the 2 of Tyler Conroy. So we do see a pass for third place. We'll start to see some if Chris can get around. If Chris can get around Chris Gutierrez now, as the 46 of Shane Adkins has started to fall off. And we got 40 to go now. So, and we got the leader coming to pit road, the 13 of Cedric Hunter coming to pit road, the 22 of Chris Gutierrez will take the lead back over for the first time since lap number 3. So our top 3 at the moment: Chris Gutierrez, Chris Matthews, Tyler Conroy. 4th you have Shane Adkins, and then 5th, rounding out your top 5, is Bob Skinner. So we do know that we will see guys coming to pit road. The question is when. Cedric Hunter will go a lap down as he comes off pit road now. And it does look like Chris is going to try to make the pass on Chris Gutierrez. And Matthews will get under Gutierrez going into turn number 3 and out of 4. And does lead the lap. So he does lead the lap. So we will have another lead change. And Christopher Matthews now has led 7 laps. As Chris Gutierrez is now going to try to move to the inside and get around Matthews. Doesn't have the runoff, so it didn't look like he had any speed coming off that corner, as the 36 of Brennan Mullen, who is 1 lap down, is trying to get his lap back, and I believe he's on fresher tires as we got cars coming off pit road. Zachary Hall, and I believe that was the 89 of Corey Harridge coming off pit road. And the 34 of Chris Matthews coming down pit road now. And Chris Gutierrez electing to stay out. So does Tyler Conroy. And our top 3 at the moment: Chris Gutierrez, Tyler Conroy, and the 78 of John Jones. First time we've seen John Jones up in the top 3 tonight. And then we also have 88 of Brian Woods. 22 of Chris Gutierrez does come down pit road, leaving it open for Tyler Conroy now. I was saying we had the 88 of Brian Woods and the 23 of James Hackworth Jr. rounding out our top 5 at that moment, before Chris Gutierrez elected to bring it down pit road. Let's go out and check the new leader, Tyler Conroy. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Tyler coming down pit road this time around. And we got a caution, as I believe it was the 82 of Bob Skinner. That is going to ruin a lot of nights for a lot of guys, as I believe Bob came off pit road. Take a run through the field and see who's got damage. As I'm not seeing any damage on any cars. Oh, there we go. The 78's got some damage. Let's see if maybe he spun it and went into the wall. It's the 78 of John Jones was actually running second. Let's see if we can get a look to see what happened. as it looks like he's got damage there. So I don't know if this was a planned caution or what exactly happened. But we got a caution on lap 32, or on 32 to go. Lap 83. So we'll take our most likely last break of the night, as your leader now is Brandon Mullen. And your top three is Brandon Mullen, Tyler Conroy, and the 88 of Brian Woods. So we'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll see who can win this race.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Alright, as we get ready to go, Tyler Conroy is now your leader. Tyler Conroy is your leader, Brian Woods in second, John Jones in third, James Hackworth Jr. in fourth, and Brandon Mullen rounds out your top five. Now we are one to go, so we'll see these guys go back to green flag racing with 29 laps to go. And we still have everybody that started the race tonight is still on the track. And it's nice to see Nick Crawford, one of the RacinFreeks drivers, in the chat tonight. Pace car will dip in, and Tyler Conroy will bring him to the line. Green flag is out. 29 laps to go here at the Dre Motorsports All-Star event. And we just had a car blow up. I believe that was the 7 of Jeff Glockner. And it does look like he was able to get off the track before a yellow came out. And looks like the 78 of John Jones moves into second, and Brian Woods drops back to third. Brandon Mullen trying to push to the inside now and get around Brian Woods as well. As Tyler Conroy's got a tough battle ahead of him, trying to fend off all these guys who are trying to make their last second pass. And James Hackworth Jr. started 15th tonight, now sits in the top 5 for the moment, and just got passed up by Cedric Hunter. But what a race by James Hackworth Jr. As John Jones got a great start there, was able to hold off until the caution came out, and he's making the best of his opportunity right now. Does get passed up by Brian Woods, so he dropped back to third for the moment. And now he's got Brandon Mullen and Cedric Hunter right behind him. And the points leader, Zachary Hall, is trying to get through the pack to gain his lap back. As we're now on 25 to go, Tyler Conroy still holding off the lead. As Brandon Mullen trying to make the pass on the inside. He's got Brian Woods on his outside too. Almost went 3 wide in turn number 1. Going into 3, you got Brandon Mullen down low. Brandon Mullen will take over the lead. Jumps from 3rd to 1st in 1 lap. And now, as we said, Brandon Mullen will be your leader. Tyler Conroy 2nd, Brian Woods in 3rd. And now John Jones back there battling with Chris Gutierrez and the 13 of Cedric Hunter. And Brandon Mullen trying to get a win here tonight for Dre Motorsports. Trying to win the Dre Motorsport All-Star event. But Tyler Conroy and Brian Woods were right behind him. They're starting to drop off. As we got a huge battle back here for second with Tyler Conroy, Brian Woods, Chris Gutierrez, 13 of Cedric Hunter, and the 78 of John Jones. As Brandon Mullen might be pushing a little too hard here. And Brian Woods into the wall, able to keep control of it. We're still green, but he will drop out of the top 3, leaving the 22 of Chris Gutierrez in the top 3 now. But 13 of Cedric Hunter and the 78 of John Jones are right there to battle him for it. And Brandon Mullen into the wall. Our leader will get past here as he hit that wall hard coming off of turn number 4. Tyler Conroy will take back over the lead. And Chris Gutierrez up the hill trying to make the pass on him. And he lost a whole bunch of speed as he's getting ready to drop back from 1st to 4th. And now Chris Gutierrez and Brandon Mullen both into the wall. Our top 3 now. Tyler Conroy, Cedric Hunter, and John Jones. Big turn of events there in the last couple laps as we had Brandon Mullen hit the wall, drop from 1st to 4th. And then we had Chris Gutierrez and Brandon Mullen both hit the wall and drop from 3rd and 4th back to 4th and trying to figure out where Brandon Mullen dropped back to 11th. And Brandon Mullen's in the pits now. Tyler Conroy with a 0.3 second lead as we got 17 laps to go. And we'll see if Cedric Hunter can catch up to him and steal a win here tonight. And if Tyler Conroy can hold on tonight, this would be his first win since July 23rd and would be his third win in the Racing Freaks Xfinity Series. And it does look like Brandon Mullen has either taken it behind the wall tonight or has some pretty major damage, as he has now spent 80 seconds in the pits and has gone, I believe, one lap down. Tyler Crawford still leading this race, and they've opened up a huge gap between himself and Cedric Hunter at a 0.5 second gap, and then a 1.1 second gap between second and third. Third place being John Jones at the moment. Fourth, Shane Adkins. Fifth, Chris Gutierrez. Chris was able to hold on there and stick within the top 5. Brian Woods in 6th. Christopher Matthews 7th. James Hackworth Jr. in 8th. Corey Harridge in 9th. Bob Skinner rounding out your top 10. Laps to go, and Tyler Conroy is starting to cruise right now if he doesn't hit the wall, and that's going to give the chance up to Cedric Hunter, who's going to have a ton of speed coming off the corner compared to Tyler. And let's see if Cedric capitalizes on the opportunity, and he should get the runoff on the corner, and he does, able to stick it to the outside of Tyler Conroy and take over the lead for the moment. They almost clipped each other going into the corner there. Able to keep it together as we're now on 11 laps to go. Cedric Hunter takes over the lead, and John Jones still sitting back in third. As we're on 10 laps to go now, and Cedric Hunter capitalized on the opportunity, and Tyler Conroy hit the wall. And let's see if Cedric Hunter can keep it together now and finish this race out tonight. As we're on 9 to go, and we do see the 32 of Zachary Hall trying to get one lap back and finish this race on the lead lap, but he is in front of the 2 of Tyler Conroy, and John Jones is now back 2.4 seconds. And let's see the battle for fourth right now with Christopher Matthews. He's got Shane Adkins and the 23 of James Hackworth Jr. As Cedric Hunter has now opened up a 1 second gap on the 2 of Tyler Conroy. And it does look like Christopher Matthews is going to catch John Jones and take over third place. And now Shane Adkins looking to take over fourth. And John Jones is starting to fall off. And I didn't think we'd see these guys catch up to him that quickly. But they do, as they are now on 6 to go. And Cedric Hunter has all but sealed up the race tonight with a 1.5 second lead. Let's take a look back at John Jones, who is battling to keep that 4th position with Shane Adkins on his bumper. As John Jones did give up a position to Shane Adkins, does sit still in the top 5, but he's got to fend off the 23 of James Hackworth Jr., who's had a great night tonight. Started 15th, has worked his way up to 6th, is trying to crack into the top 5. As John Jones goes way up the track, James Hackworth Jr. moves back into the top 5 for the 2nd time tonight. We've got the 4 to go. Let's go watch our leader, Cedric Hunter, who still has a 1.4 second lead on the 2 of Tyler Conroy. And unless we see Cedric Hunter hit the wall, I think he's pretty much locked the race up tonight. A great win for Cedric, as this would be win number, let's see here, this would be win number 5 for Cedric, his first since July 30th. And it'd be a great win for Dre Motorsports to get a win here tonight at the Dre Motorsports All-Star event. Always great to win the race that you sponsor. And white flag is out. Cedric Hunter 1.6 second lead on Tyler Conroy, and Tyler Conroy's got 2.4 on Chris Matthews. So unless we get a huge accident here, I believe that will round out your top 3. And there it is. Cedric Hunter, your winner tonight. And the fireworks are going off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we will be right back with our interviews right after this break.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. It's not to come 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th. Right?
All right, Tyler Conroy, you got a copy.
Yes, I do.
All right, you finished 2nd tonight. You led 28 laps tonight. You had a pretty good car out there. ran into a couple little incidents. How did the car feel out there tonight?
It was good on the short run. Once we got into the longer run, Cedric was just the master at saving tires. So that's what it came down to, his tires. I lost concentration off turn 4, hit the wall. That's what gave him the win.
All right. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting every week, and just Robert for putting on a hell of a show every Saturday night. This is a blast.
All right. And I know we're going to get an announcement from David Everly, so I'll go ahead and let you get back up to that. And we'll go ahead and take another break as we wait for the announcement from Robert Moyer Jr. and David Everly, the admins of Racing Freaks.
Thanks, guys.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun, but there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at...
And then I'll open up chat.
I just want to say, guys, you guys did an awesome job. This race was for you guys. You guys are what make this league what it is. I will honestly say it's one of the cleanest, most respectful leagues on iRacing, and I'll argue till somebody's blue in the face if they try to say otherwise. Congratulations on our top 3. Congratulations on the cash prize. Like I said, this race was for y'all. Y'all are what make this league run, makes it tick. It makes it worth me, Robert, and Brandon, and everything we do to try to keep this league going. You know, we do it for you guys because you guys come in, week out, and show why we're the best racing league in iRacing, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Good job, everybody.
All right. With that said, I also like to give a shout out to Dre Motorsports for thank you for sponsoring this race. Chat is open, guys. You can chat all you want. The server's open for an hour and 20 minutes yet, or we can chat on Discord after this race. So chat is now going to be open.
All right, and with that, once again, we'd like to thank everybody who came out and watched the race tonight on YouTube, Twitch, and on Beam.Pro. Able to stream tonight on all 3 platforms. So once again, thank you everybody who stopped by and checked out the race. Thank you everybody who subscribed and everybody who followed on Twitch. And once again, huge shout out to Racing Freaks. We heard it there first from the admins of Racing Freaks. These guys are amazing at what they do. Lots of green flag racing. Make sure to check them out if you would like to run in their league. And with that, everybody have a great night. And once again, thank you for stopping by.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. And by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. It's not to come third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. Right?